that 2-1-13 at GWS to Melbourne 1-2-8. It is the battle of the cellar dwellers. Jeremy Cameron and Tomlinson are the goal kickers for the Giants. Meanwhile, Fitzpatrick is the sole goal scorer for the Melbourne Demons. And the other match to get underway in about 10 minutes' time is the big one between Hawthorn and Richmond at the MCG. We'll return to the EFL Gameday team at Mulgrave Reserve for the big clash between Mulgrave and Upper Ferntree Gully in Division 2 right after these messages.
Desperately need budget-friendly windows? Visit T&B Discount Window Warehouse, who'll have the right solution for you. T&B has new and surplus windows to suit any budget needs, and you'll still have spare change to finish off your renovation. Visit T&B's new Superstore, Unit 4, 116 to 118 Canterbury Road in Kilsyth. T&B Discount Window Warehouse, part of the EAL and AW Window Transport Group, your number one in window transport.
Call 1300 075 038.
Program sponsor.
EFL TV is back and better than ever. Head to efl.org.au every Thursday morning to check out the new episode of EFL TV. EFL TV features weekly interviews with players and special guests, and the EFL Media Team always discuss all the big issues in the Eastern Football League. And you can get involved by voting for your favourite EFL Player of the Week. EFL TV, live and local for your footy every Thursday morning at efl.org.au.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on Eastlink on weekends and public holidays with a car tab. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use Eastlink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's East. Arrive fresher, play better. Eastlink, it's time.
Sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website www.efl.org.au.
On EFL Saturday, it's time for the match of the round. Let's cross to our team and go local for your footy.
And yes, today we're live and local out here at Mulgrave Reserve for the big Division 2 game between Mulgrave and Upper Ferntree Gully. It's going to be a big clash right here on 98.1 Radio Eastern and EFL.org.au. Thanks to Riley and Gav and Andy Heyman and Ryan James and Ron Gladman for their work throughout the Freight Partners warm-up. All thanks to freightpartners.net.au. Certainly was some great stuff from those gentlemen, and we're looking forward to a big call after 2 p.m. right here on 98.1 Radio East. And let's introduce the call team. Say hello to the Frosty one. Peter Baird's in special comments. Hello, Frost.
How are you?
I'm better now. I've heard you. How are you going?
Oh, mate, always better after hearing my voice on EFL Gameday, aren't you?
I'll leave that one go through to the keeper. What are you expecting out of today's game? A big day particularly for Upper Ferntree Gully, but what are you expecting from both teams today?
I'm really looking forward to seeing a real open, free-flowing game, actually. I think both these teams have played their best footy when they take the game on, when they like to run and spread, run through the lines. Try and play that attacking brand of football. I don't think either team really has a lot to gain by
Division 2 footballers, and I think we'll see that today. Glad to see Tim Knowles taking his place on the field today as well.
I would have gone against you, but after speaking to Andy, he kindly crossed out a few names of late changes. One of them being Tim Risley, the captain. He's
really?
Vito LaRusso.
Massive loss.
Out.
Both of them are huge losses.
And Ryan Thomas has been replaced. So
Tim Knowles plays for Mulgrave.
But also the ins apparently are some gun juniors who have VFL permit releases. I'm looking for some acknowledgement of that being correct. But
it is. Andrew Godfrey, Scott McGowan come into the side today to replace Ryan and LaRusso. So they are quality players that have that VFL experience and TAC Cup experience with the Eastern Rangers. So probably just looking at a little bit extra pace in the side. I don't think, although Tim Risley's been a really good player in Division 2 for a number of years, he is slowing down a little bit. And I think that added league speed will actually go to Upper Gully's benefit this afternoon.
Which way do you see this game going? I know you've just said that it could a certain way could go that way, but is that your tip?
It is. I think Upper Gully will have a little bit too much pace for Mulgrave. They've looked slow at times this year. We saw that particularly in round one earlier in the year. Although they got over the line against Bayswater in that round one clash, I thought at times their ball movement isn't really quick, and Bayswater exploited that at times throughout that game.
It's hard to pick who's been in the better form out of the two sides over, say, the last 6 weeks or so, though.
I think their form lines are really comparable, the way they've gone about their football. They are very, very competitive football teams. They will give you 100% effort. They're not the most talented sides in Division 2. They're certainly not the highest paid playing list in Division 2. I mean, you look at teams like Montrose that have stars on every line. Neither of these teams have that, but they do have very good, honest footballers that can really provide a 100% genuine contest.
There's some big outs for Upper Ferntree Gully, Pete.
I still think they'll get over the line today, BWS, and I'm really confident. I reckon they're nearly a sure thing.
Oh, we'll join in our own little huddle because I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with your tip. Not just because they're the underdogs and I'm that sort of guy. I actually do agree with your sentiment about pace. And Mulgrave haven't been very great at spreading and running forward of the ball. They don't have a game plan that suits having Adam Booth in the forward line.
I think the key for Upper Ferntree Gully, if they are going to win, they need to nullify the influence that Mulgrave may have in the air. They can't get outmarked around the ground. They need to be able to bring the ball to ground. If they can do that, they should win this game of football with their run and spread and ball movement and their leg speed.
Well, let's cross down boundary side for the first time this afternoon because we've got a couple of gentlemen who have strolled out into the middle of the park and making their way back to the bench now. Let's say a very good afternoon to Billy Vickers. G'day, Billy.
Good afternoon, BWS. Very excited to be back down on the boundary this afternoon, despite got a sort of ominous conditions out here, looking a little bit overcast, and I'll just let you know there is a fairly strong breeze. It's pretty gusty, but it looks to be favouring that Wellington Road position. Boys, Mulgrave have just won the toss. They've decided to kick to that direction. I'll just let you know with those changes, McGowan is in the 84 and it's Godfrey in 20. Have a good call, boys.
Thank you very much to Billy, and we'll say hello to Jeff while you're down there, mate. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Jeff Manalitza returns to the team. Which way is this game going to go today, Jeff?
Yeah, hi BWS. They've won 3 of the last 4 games on their own home track here. It's a bit wet underneath, a bit soft the ground, but look, I think conditions will suit them today, and I reckon Mulgrave.
Well, let's get a quick tip from Billy while you're standing next to him. Billy, which way do you see this?
I like Upper Gully BWS. It's going to be a cracker, but they'll do it here.
Always like it when the boundary riders go against each other. Riley Beveridge will be on the Choose Tap Stats all afternoon. Which way is this game going to go, mate?
Yeah, I think Upper Gully. I reckon they've got more to play for today in that relegation spot. I think Mulgrave are out of danger, and I think they'll win today.
Well, we know that Peter Baird has gone for Upper Ferntree Gully. Gav Casey, your final decision
is...
I'm
going Upper Ferntree Gully as well.
Brad Henderson, how do you see this one?
Yeah, going for Mulgrave.
Okay, and myself as well, I'm going to go for Mulgrave. I've been toing and froing about this all week, and even up until the last probably half an hour or so, a couple of big outs for Upper Ferntree Gully, and knowing that Tim Knowles is playing for me today at home, I think Mulgrave are going to get the chocolates today, Peter Baird, and I think they might even win by about 5 goals.
So the call team split 3-3 right down the line, which is what we want to see. And just want to mention Paul Manalitsis and Nathan McDonald, the 2 field umpires, looking resplendent in their lime green for road safety round.
Well,
when did they ever play for chocolates, by the way? I'm really up for that.
Brad Henderson to take us away in Division 2 Match of the Day.
Thanks very much, BWS. The siren does sound and Cleveland wins the first effective tap, palmed it down nicely. Mulgrave go forward and they waste no time rushing it forward. Hesketh got a little handball away. Ball was shot out though. Upper Gully work well to clear through Tapscott. Tapscott's floating kick out towards Eddie on the wing position, and Dave Eddie there unable to keep the ball in play. Paddles it to the boundary line. I reckon if there's a player to look out for Upper Ferntree Gully today, the one to watch with Tim Risley out of the side is Alex Calder. He is a very exciting player and really gives this team a lot of spark. A lot of players around the footy. Knowles takes possession. Well wrapped up there in the tackle. Lots of players diving in over the top, and the umpire says there will be a free kick. It will go to the Lions for some holding on, and it will go to Liam Welsford.
Here's the run of Curry. He wants to get the answer that they're after. And Upper Ferntree Gully, in the space of only 30 seconds, they level the scores. And we've really, although it's only 2 minutes in, this is a great start to this game, Peter Baird.
It certainly is, and that's where Upper Gully play their best footy, when they're able to run through the lines, use that leg speed we spoke about pre-game, and really exploit Mulgrave for that bit of pace around the contest. And they were fantastic, being able to get that centre clearance, run through centre half forward, have that shot on goal from 40 metres out. Fantastic reply from the Kings.
And Tapscott played defensively on Butler on that, but he still got the clearance.
Great goal there from Kelsey Curry to get Upper Ferntree Gully's first of the game. 1 goal apiece on the board. And Kelsey Curry, coming up from the under-19s last year, played a fair bit of senior footy last season and has really cemented his spot this year as G shoots a handball out to West. David West's kick, driving forward. It was a good strong tackle applied there by Clayton, who's been in great form for Upper Ferntree Gully, named in their best on a couple of occasions in recent times, Cameron Clayton. One of the many players in this Kings team who are just starting to really cement their spot and establish a reputation as being really capable at this level. This is Houston, Vandenbroek, hard up against the boundary line. Did it well then, the former Eastern line. Nice pass to Curry. Curry's kick. Neat kick to centre half forward. Taylor was the target. Couldn't quite drag in the mark. Had Eddie in support. David Eddie bounces the kick forward. The Lions lead the race to the ball though. They certainly had the numbers there and they'll come out of defence. Searching kick to the wing. Bounces over the head of Butler. Tapscott takes possession, does well. Gave it to Willis. Quick kick, low kick was by Houston. Handball shot out there by Crocker. Back to Houston. Under pressure, he coughed it up. No, well, they keep possession then. Taking possession now is McGowan. Lovely kick there by Scott McGowan. And he just saw out of the corner of his eye the lead being offered. And he made sure that the got a chance at their second goal.
Really impressed with the way they shared the ball amongst themselves then, which really kept the ball moving very, really quickly.
So we wait on the kick. And looks good off the boot. It's made no mistake, and Upper Ferntree Gully have got their second on the board. They lead by 6 points on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and that was number 8, which is Patrick Jelly, who's kicked their second of the day.
Now, Gav, you'd have to be impressed then with the way that Upper Gully used that ball, and really, that actually is a trademark of a side that looks really quick out there. It might not necessarily even have to have great leg speed, but when they're able to move that ball quickly between teammates, they look so quick.
And they're actually confident that the man ahead of the play is there to grab it because they're running by with a quicker transfer. They've actually got runners on the outside as well.
Well, the ball's still in the middle of the centre square. The umpire might come in and bounce this one again and restart it. 5.5 minutes gone in this first term. It's a 6-point ball game. Pye throws the ball up now. No clear tap out by anyone. Who's going to get the clearance? At the bottom of the pack there was G. Couldn't quite get boot to ball. The umpire will come in and bounce it.
Just also Ben, the Godfrey needs to break even with Cleveland because he could dominate. He's already looking too big physically, and he's going to create a lot of momentum for Mulgrave from the ruck stoppages.
Well, Cleveland got a good knockout. It came to the way of Willis, who got a good fist on it, tapped it to his teammates' advantage. Mulgrave now surged the ball forward, inside forward 50. Which way is this one going to bounce over the back of the pack? Bouncing football. Hesketh needs to be able to trap it. He just can't quite do that, and goes over for a boundary throw-in, right forward pocket down Mulgrave's end. They'll be looking for the quick answer. So the umpire wasting no time in bringing the ball back in now. It's a hot footy at the bottom of the pack. Butler tried to spin himself out of trouble. He got the ball away. That was okay. Mulgraves, they might have to work backwards to go forwards there. Trapped off nicely there by Morehouse to get the little handball away. And now Upper Ferntree Gully will be able to travel the ball up towards the wing position or towards centre half forward. Strong mark's being taken. Little handball off. It's being given to Calder on the left boot. He loves this position. Strong kick to the top of the goal square at the back of the pack. And it was almost nearly ripped in. They might still have the numbers. Dropping what he probably should have taken at the top of the goal square. And the umpire's paid a free kick to Upper Ferntree Gully. It will go the way of Andrew Godfrey, and he's only about 20 metres out, and no doubt he'll put this one through, you would think.
Oh, absolutely. But I really like that intent that Upper Ferntree Gully is showing. They're looking to move the ball on at all costs, run and carry, and that's a real sign of what Andy Heyman's trying to instill in this playing group, that they need to take the game on, be responsible for their outcome themselves, not sit back and try and stop the opposition from scoring, but really take the scoring opportunities on themselves.
Lindsay Thomas lining up, is it? The biggest drop to the knees, fall over effort.
So Godfrey will come in now. He's got his bench right behind him to cheer this one home, and he puts it straight through the middle. That is a terrific kick. Upper Ferntree Gully have started magnificently here in the first quarter of EFL Game Day. We've crossed 8 minutes on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, and it's straight kicking all the way. Upper Ferntree Gully lead it 3 goals straight, 18. Mulgrave, the first goal on the board, 1 straight 6.
I said I'm really impressed with this start from Upper Ferntree Gully. They look really, really confident in playing a team. When they at the moment, you've got to remember they do still sit on the bottom of the Division 2 ladder, so that everything they've got is ahead of them. They need to do all the work to try and get themselves out of that position. They're playing a team that's sitting just outside that top 4, but they're really taking this game on full of intent, and that's something that's really good to see.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, as Frosty said, they are playing with intent. 5 tackles to 1 to start this game for Upper Gully.
Free kick in the back goes the way of the Lions, and it's their captain Robbie Edwards who drives it forward. But Dirksen did really well, had front position there, but again he's coughed up the ball. Second time he's done that in this first term. Gilling's kick around the corner was well and truly scouted back there by Vandenbroek. And Vandenbroek out of defence for the Kings, looks for a target there in Morehouse. It was a terrific mark, loading in from the side, dished it off to Tapscott. Tapscott's kick fell short of its intended target, and working back there to safely pouch the mark was Cheeseman. Not his best kick though, he looked for Cleven. Trevethan puts his body over the ball, fed it out to G. Long kick by Adam G, but it's been well marked back there by Jared Dirksen, and he does read the play well. Dirksen, neat kick this time, finds McGowan. True centre-half back position. McGowan, bit of a floating kick, but it finds Tapscott on the wing, who's been very busy early in this game. Careful kick by Tapscott, but it just carried over the head of Al Calder, and the ball finding the boundary line for a boundary throw-in. 12-point lead still to Upper Ferntree Gully. And it's at half-forward. Godfrey got hands to it, so did Cleven. Ball shot out to Jamer. Close to the boundary line. Calder does really well, got a little give. It's hard up against the boundary line. I think that was
a push.
Push, and a free kick will go to Upper Ferntree Gully. And Al Calder races in, just hoping he's a bit of a chance of getting the free kick, but it will in fact go to
you wonder
Godfrey.
why the defender decided to push when he's on the boundary line. He'd have to be a miracle worker to kick the goal. You've done all the hard work to, pen him in. That's job done. Don't push him over.
No, it was a bit of a needless free kick
Silly.
for sure by the Lions then. Andrew Godfrey with the free kick. He's already kicked 1 today. Almost an impossible angle, you would think. And he is indeed a left footer, which makes it that much harder. And he hangs it out to the left, predictably in the end. He couldn't quite narrow the angle, so minus score there for Upper Ferntree Gully. 3-1-19, Mulgrave 1 goal on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
As Parker plays it to himself, drives the ball out wide looking for Gilling. He had one bite, he hit the deck right on his hammer in there to his Dirksen, and it'll be a free kick going the way of Upper Ferntree Gully. They're putting their body over the line. Dirksen, he started fantastically in this opening 10 minutes of the term. Right on his game today as he drives the ball inside forward 50. The pack forms and ripping down an absolute cracker was McGowan over the back of the pack. So he went up with the 2 Dukes and he pulled it down with the 1. And Upper Ferntree Gully, they've got the upper hand so far, Peter Baird, pardon the pun.
Well, they have, because they are prepared to take the game on, and that's probably the difference between the two teams. I mean, Scott McGowan, he's a quality player, and he's a player really that the incoming coach at Upper Ferntree Gully is going to really have to have his sights set on in the future. Really young kid, real lot of potential.
45-degree angle presents him here. He'll kick from about 40 metres. McGowan leans over the ball and kicks it straight over the goal umpire's head. That is a solid kick and a solid start by the Upper Ferntree Gully Football Club on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we cross the 12-minute mark of the first. 4-1-25. Mulgrave still 1 straight 6.
Which way's the wind going, Peter?
It's probably favouring the end which Mulgrave's actually kicking to, the Wellington Road end with the ground. But I think the way that
the way Billy said.
But I think the way that Upper Gully are actually playing the ball, they're actually keeping the ball at ground level and running through the lines, which is actually negating any influence that Breeze actually has.
19-point lead now for Upper Ferntree Gully. They've really gotten off to a flyer. 4-1 plays 1 goal as Booth manages to tumble the ball forward. Siakoulis' long kick. Looking for his teammate there in Gilling. That Upper Gully defence just continually clearing the area really well. Jamar, the ball spilled out from his hands. Siakoulis' kick was a good one. Beautiful pass. And that's how the forwards like him. Lace out on the
wearing 2 jumpers. In fact, he was dispossessed. Siakoulis comes into hand, lends of support on the left boot, kicks it inside forward 50, 2-on-1 situation. The umpire's paid a free kick. It's going to go to Mulgrave and it's going to go to Ben Gilling about 45 metres out from goal on a 45-degree angle.
Really tough to kick goals from these deep forward pockets here at Mulgrave Reserve. When you've got a wind blowing like that, just needs to aim right at basically at the point of the goal square, let the breeze try and work it back to the centre of the goals. But this is a really tough kick.
Distance will not be a problem. He's done this plenty of times before. It's a beautiful looking kick off the boot, and that has gone straight through the middle. Don't you worry about that. And Mulgrave have got the answer they were after for. We've gone 15 minutes here in the second term, and it's only 2 goals the margin on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard. Mulgrave moved to 2-1-13, but they're still trailing Upper Ferntree Gully, who are 4-1-25.
Gilling looks the man to go to, and if there seems to be a void between centre forward and full forward so far for Mulgrave, and but if he's going to kick him from the boundary, it doesn't matter where he gets him.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, it's interesting that Upper Ferntree Gully have a 12-point lead, but they're actually losing in inside 50s at the moment. Mulgrave have had inside 50 8-5.
Yeah, and it's been the great work of, I reckon, Jared Dirksen in the main, who's managed to repel so many of Mulgrave's forays forward. That Upper Gully defence doing really well, keeping Mulgrave to just 2 goals despite, as Riley just said, having more inside 50s to this stage.
You know, Adam Booth just took the ruck then. It's got to be that's an interesting move.
Yeah, he's very versatile, Gavin. Can play forward, can do a bit of work in the ruck.
I think he's just going to be there for around the grounds by the look of it.
There's the kick by Kirby, centre half forward position. Eddie couldn't take the mark. Parker did really well in opposition. Strong tackle there by Taylor. Player had it might have been Booth, had it for a long time then. Umpire let it go. This is Morehouse, as always, wearing the long sleeves. Cassiano takes possession. He's wrapped up by a couple of Kings there, including Crocker, and it will be a ball up on the wing position. 12-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully. Little handball came out from Knowles. Big high up and under kick by Booth. Plenty of lines back there. Handball came over the top from Cassiano. Vandenbroek. Fortuitously landed in the hands of Houston. Vandenbroek out of defence. Lovely pass. Had 2 teammates in the gun then. Straight down the middle. McGowan took the advantage, and it wasn't an advantage. He sort of sold himself under pressure. Kick forward by Parker was pretty good. Gave his teammate a chance there close to the boundary line. Little quick kick by Lester.
Well done,
and
Lester.
It was very clever by Sean Lester. He just had to get boot to ball then, but he just put it up in the air and gave Gilling a chance. And Ben Gilling, if he kicks this one like he did the last one, in fact it's Robbie Edwards, the Mulgrave captain, who just certainly one of the more experienced players in this still fairly young Mulgrave team. Edwards splits the middle. Gee, that was a nice kick, and he's made no mistake. So Mulgrave are hitting back. They've kicked their third. They move on to 3-1-19. And Upper Ferntree Gully 4-1-25, just 1 goal the deficit on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
They've been able to get a little bit more system into their play in the last few minutes, Mulgrave, and that's really starting to return rewards on the scoreboard for them. They've kicked the last 2, and they've been able to hit up a target as they've gone forward. They just haven't bombed. They haven't had that pressure around the ball carrier that we saw from Upper Gully in those first few minutes of the game, where Upper Gully were absolutely fantastic in harassing and chasing and then breaking the lines on the turnover.
Just note there's a little bit of left to right with the wind, and the previous miss kick by Hisketh was well judged this time.
Sounds like a plane's about to land on us here as the ball goes inside forward 50. Upper Ferntree Gully, they've been the king of the quick answer so far in this game, and Taylor comes out and takes an easy chest mark about 35 metres out from goal.
I heard it's Tiger and they're delayed by 30 minutes.
Stock standard. Well, I'll just take over, shall we? Harrison Taylor, he'll come in now. 45 metres out. He got so close to the man on the mark. That was terrible. He really ruined an opportunity there. They might get another chance, though, because Toole came in, received the handball, got a little handball off himself, but the boundary line's going to beat all players, and over she goes about 30 metres out from goal.
He kicked it into the man on the mark because he was too busy laughing at Gavin Casey's joke.
towards the wing position. He sensed that he wanted the boundary line. He just wanted to gain that 40 metres, and over she goes for a boundary throwing right near that Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which reads Ferntree Gully leading it by 1 goal, 4-1-25, plays 3-1-19.
So boundary throw in on that outer side, and Vandenbroek got a little. Oh, sorry, it was ball was shot out then to Young. Young's long kick. Plenty of Upper Gully players back there though. Jamar got the handball receive over the top to Siakoulis. Dean Siakoulis fires at the goals, and he's missed on that occasion. So minus score for Dean Siakoulis, the vice captain of Mulgrave, and Mulgrave move on to 3-2-20. Upper Ferntree Gully 4-1-25.
Probably had a little bit more time up his sleeve than Dean Siakoulis and what he actually what he actually thought he did in that situation. Could have steadied, taken a couple more steps closer to goal and really put that one through.
Just something to add to Peter Baird's pre-match comments, the marks around the grounds. This is where Upper Gully have dominated from transition, trying to get it out of half back, but they just need that tall around the ground just to take a bit of pressure off their running game, because you can't run it every time. You'll hit a brick wall sooner or later, and it seems like the wing, they could just get a mark that'll help them going forward.
Well, it was West then who just very short pass, would have barely travelled the requirements, but it found Adam G. And G lines up, hangs it out to the right. It looked good most of the journey, off target, minus score.
They lead it now by 2 points. They've regained that lead. They lead 4-3-27 to 4-1-25. Riley Beveridge, some more important stats thanks to Tuesday.
Yeah, ball game, but Mulgrave dominating all over the ground. And maybe this is the win taking its toll. 13 inside 50s to 7 Mulgrave over up on Ferntree Gully.
So 2 point lead as we said to Mulgrave. And stunning first quarter, 4 goals apiece. No multiple goal kickers thus far for either side.
Well, it was good to see Booth where the ball was going to, because I think he was getting lost in trying to go because they didn't have any motion forward. He went to the contest. Now he's actually going to where the ball is going to travel to.
Took a great mark, most importantly, and finished off his good work. There's a quick kick forward by Butler. Bounces it forward. Hunting after the footy was Hesketh. Did well, got it to Cassiano. Cassiano's kick hugging the boundary. He's got the lead on offer then, and the mark's been safely held. So Mulgrave have another chance at their 5th goal.
It's Booth.
Adam Booth on the lead there. Pass from Sam Cassiano. And Booth, very difficult angle. Proven goal kicker over many years from Mulgrave, but this will really test him. And he wasn't quite up to the task. Minus score for Adam Booth. Mulgrave 4-4-28. Upper Ferntree Gully 4-1-25. Bendigo Bank scoreboard down to Billy Vickers thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yeah, Brad, just an update on the wind. It really is playing a bit of havoc down here, especially with these shots on goals, but really, really gusty and definitely consistently blowing towards that west Wellington Road end. Really strong.
Even the ball there moved 5 metres from off the line.
Well, Dirksen was casual in his pass out from the kick in, but he found Godfrey nonetheless, and he'll drive the ball into the middle of the ground. It wasn't too crash out of a kick. The ball comes out towards the tool direction somehow. Upper Ferntree Gully scramble to kick up towards the half-forward line. It's a bouncing football. The foot race is created, but the boundary line beats all players, and over she goes for a boundary throw-in about 55 metres out from the Upper Ferntree Gully goals. Mulgrave, they've owned the last 10 minutes or so of
for
No, he's
Luke
hopping.
Parker. Is Luke Parker, sorry, not limping, he's hopping off.
Yeah. Get it up. The next 2 hops.
So that's a big blow
Comedy
for Mulgrave.
genius from Gav Casey this afternoon.
Oh, it's beat you, mate.
Right in front of the boundary riders, luckily.
Boundary. Got another one up my sleeve.
And that was a minus score for Ben Gilling there, just off target.
Just watching the game, I think Upper Ferntree Gully's intensity and pressure around the ball carriers probably dropped off in the second half of the quarter. I'd be really interested to see their tackle count from Riley Beveridge, just to see if that work rate they showed, particularly early in the quarter, has really fallen away.
Yeah, they've had 13 tackles to 8 in favour of Upper Ferntree, but they've only had 5 since about the 10-minute mark of the quarter.
Need someone to mark the ball beyond the centre. Because they look so much better and allows their runners to run further, because they can't run anymore. They've been running a good from
in window transport.
Call 1300 075 0.
Damien Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1 FM. It's currently a very cool 11.2 degrees outside in the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. We apologise for the technique playing havoc across the eastern suburbs of Melbourne, and that's no doubt reflected in the scores. Speaking of scores, we're going to go around the grounds of the AFL. 2 matches to be completed rather on this Saturday afternoon, and the big one at Skoda Stadium between the 2 cellar dwellers of the competition, GWS and Melbourne, and we're witnessing a reasonable boil-over at the 20-minute mark of the second term, with GWS holding a 14-point advantage over Melbourne, 8-3-51 to the Demons, 5-7-37. The major goal scorers thus far for the Giants, Jeremy Cameron has 2, and Callum Ward, their senior player, also has registered 2 majors. Meanwhile, for the Demons, Jack Watts is their only major goal scorer with 2 goals. Meanwhile, the other clash, the big one at the MCG, it's currently quarter time, and another surprising result. Richmond hold a 3-goal advantage over Hawthorn, 6-4-40 to the Hawks, 3-4-22 at the first change. Amongst the goal kickers for the Hawks, Buddy Franklin has a single, Jordan Lewis and Puopolo also amongst the goal scorers. Meanwhile, for the Tigers, Luke McGuarron has converted 2 goals, as has Jack Revolt up forward. We'll bring you further updates of those scores throughout the day, but we'll head back to the second term of the big match at Mulgrave Reserve between Upper Ferntree Gully.
Mulgrave Reserve. Mulgrave lead this one by 5 points, 4-6. Leading Upper Ferntree Gully 4-1-25, but it's a good game of footy. Plenty of other great games of footy going around in the EFL. Let's have a look at other Division 2 scores. North Ringwood 5-1-31 leading Croydon 20, so 11-point lead there for North Ringwood. Doncaster East lead the Waverley Blues by 5 points. In Division 1, Blackburn leads Roval by 3 points. East Burwood leads Norwood by 4. Knox lead Lilydale by 10. Noble Park leads East Ringwood by 18. Vermont leads Scoresby by 18. And South Croydon lead Baldwin by 10 points. In other scores in Division 2, Bayswater are currently trailing Montrose by 12 points. So good start there for Montrose in that game there. In Division 3, Doncaster 1-7-13 trailing the Basin by 3 points, 2-4-16. Ringwood leading Baronia by 7 points. Mitcham have started with their tails up. They're up by 40 points. Wanturna South lead Heathmont by 11 points. Glen Waverley lead Templestowe by 29 points. Whitehorse lead Warrandyte by 11 points. In Division 4, Kilsyth lead Park Orchards by 7. Nunawading lead South Belgrave by 27 points at quarter time. And Forest Hill are off to a good start. They lead by 34 points over the Eastern Line. So just missing only a couple of scores, but a great start for plenty of teams across the EFL. And a great start here for Mulgrave. We'll keep you up to date with all the scores around the EFL throughout the day. Just repeating some other scores in Division 2. North Ringwood by 11 over Croydon. Doncaster East by 5 over the Waverley Blues. Montrose by 12 over Bayswater. And here at Mulgrave Reserve, it's Mulgrave by 5 points over Upper Ferntree Gully. Let's cross down Barony side. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, Billy Vickers.
Thank you, Ben Waterworth. I'm down here with the Upper Gully coach, Andy. Andy, how did you see that first quarter?
Oh, we started well. We started like we needed to against the wind. We just probably made a couple of, decision-making skill errors, which brought them back into it, and we got a bit mixed up in our backs on who was on who because we got specific matchups. But apart from that, really happy. I mean, it's a pretty strong wind, I reckon.
Definitely, it's the wind certainly playing an impact. You started the quarter really well by the looks of it. It sort of just dropped off. Are you going to look to change any tactics, use this wind to your advantage this quarter?
Oh, no. We pressure around the contest. And it's coming through that the ball's actually travelling in a nice trajectory, even though, as Benny said, Morehouse got knackered, attacked, and that is in the centre.
He's rewarded there, Chris Morehouse as well, with his team kicking that goal. Back in the middle. Quick kick out of the middle by Sakulis. Got a unfavourable wet bounce there, EFL.org.au. Close game and we've got on our hands out here, and we expect it to be that way for the remainder of the afternoon as the ball comes out. Godfrey couldn't get down low enough to pick the ball up, but it was okay there by G, who scrambled to kick up towards the half-forward line. He was looking for Jamar. He couldn't quite ruffle it, and over the boundary line she goes as Houston sees it over.
That's much better by Mulgrave. Get numbers to the stoppage, just close it up, lock it up, and that's all they can do this quarter is stop it from opening up, I think.
Godfrey, 2-point lead is all at the moment for Upper Ferntree Gully, so tight ball game.
those bigger Mulgrave players around the stoppages is really paying dividends for them, and the ruck work of Big Al Cleven's really instrumental. That's why they're winning the ball around stoppages. As you said, Gav, they should be trying to force and shut down that upper Ferntree Gully run and carry by footers.
Scoreboard. We're waxing lyrical a lot about him today, but just can't give it to intensive game with Jared Dirksen today.
Let's go around the grounds at quarter time. Will Taylor, let's start with Division 1, my friend.
Yep.
5 degrees. They probably need this one up at Ferntree Gully because they have been peppering.
They have, and kicking with the wind, though, they've lost a bit of that system that they like running to the wind, trying to run and carry it and keep the ball low.
Ball moving over. Instead, he almost runs right into the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, which sees his side by 8 points at the 13.5-minute mark. We're 50 metres out on goal, straight through the behind. They're certainly all around that forward 50 arc, the upper Ferntree Gully side, and behind on the board to them. They currently lead it by points on the. That was Harris' kick, his set.
Scott. Here's a driving long left foot kick. Adrian Tapscott, I should say, is kicked to the wing. Butler, little handball over the top to Lester in close quarters. Gave it to Knowles, who got it from Roper. Now it's with Young. Young's quick kick was clever. Didn't travel the required distance though to G. Strong tackle there by West. Good work from the Lions. They hunted in packs that time. Bit of a dust up on the wing. Tapscott takes possession now. The umpires, he was right on the scene there, and he's paid a free kick which will go to upper Ferntree Gully out of that little scuffle which broke out on the wing position.
14 free kicks to 9 in favour of upper Ferntree Gully. 14 free kicks to 5, sorry.
That's a big difference. It is certainly favouring the Kings at this stage. There's the kick from Andrew Godfrey, but it's the kick favours Knowles for Mulgrave. So Tim Knowles, wing position, short pass is on. This is G. Beautiful handball. G is very creative, Adam G. Got it to Jamer, put him under a bit of pressure. Jamer kept his feet well, great pick up as well off the deck. Tumbles the kick forward. Tapscott charged the footy, chanced his arm and then bursts out of defence. Thumps it forward, but it's a 2-on-1 which favours the Lions. Henderson there against Kirby. Cheeseman out of defence. Careful kick was good. Finds Roper. Up towards the wing. This is West for Mulgrave. Dropped what he should have held and then crucially went to ground. Houston was stripped of the footy though. Good tenacious effort by West to try to redeem himself. And he's earned a free kick. Did what he needed to do after the initial error. He butted up and it was a fine second effort. Not a great kick though this time by West. Godfrey spilled a mark as well that he should have held, the big man. Got it to Dirksen. Ball spilled out. Upper Gully under pressure. The game's just really gone up a notch in intensity. Clayton's kick to half forward. Could have been and should have been a free kick to Patrick Galley. It is. So free kick goes to Galley, who then appeals for a 25-metre penalty. Doesn't receive it. Galley's kick to a big.
Got down on hands and knees, tried to get a handball away from Booth, but to no avail. Kick scrambles up towards still that centre-half forward line for upper Ferntree Gully. Mulgrave are going to get the clearing kick. It's end-to-end football and a dumping as well. The free kick will be in the arms of Ben Gilling at centre-half forward. That's as far as the ball travelled. He might even be able to roost this one through. Ben Gilling, 55 metres out from goal. He sets sail for goal. Jamar might be able to shepherd this one through at the top of the goal square. He'll have another shot at it. Snap around the body. This might go through. This could be miraculous. And the goal umpire says no. It was a miraculous point, in fact, and Mulgrave, they edged that little bit closer, but only by one behind. It is 7 points the difference here on EFL Gameday. A great game we are seeing out here at Mulgrave Reserve. In fact, it's only 8 points because the scoreboard attenders are right on the money today as the kick goes into the middle of the ground. Booth got a little handball out. Sia Coolers tried to shove a handball out towards the G direction. He went down. He could have nearly copped one in the back there, and he has Adam G. So he'll take the free kick about 55 metres out from goal. So, a lot of players in this forward 50. Booth screaming forward about 20 metres out. Probably a decent enough target to go for. The short pass is on to see Coolers. He takes it.
They're still not in range. You see Jelly's kick was held up and the wind cost it the previous effort.
Eagles towards a boot direction, straight through his arms. Houston picked it up and snapped it around the body. Went out towards the winning position. And he got it wrong in two. Bouncing football over the boundary line and out of bounds. Lucky to Peter Bear because there were two Mulgrave players right on that ball.
I'm just watching this game out here. I don't think I've seen as young a team as this Upper Ferntree Gully team ever in Division 2. I don't reckon there's a player out there, Brad Henderson, over 23 years of age in this Upper Gully side.
Matt Lawson would be one, but yeah, there wouldn't be many.
Well, there's definitely a few receding hairlines, that's for sure. As the umpire throws it back in, G at the bottom of the pack, he's wrapped up in a tackle and will have a bounce just inside the centre square. Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tap.
Yeah, 13 tackles to 11 this quarter. It's 26-19 for the game, both in favour of Upper Ferntree Gully.
Well, Mulgrave got the knockdown through, Booth straight into the arms of Morehouse. He was wrapped up in a tackle by West and will start it all again.
They might be younger, but physically they've been quite dominant. They've knocked their opponents off the ball many times in this quarter. Upper Ferntree Gully, that is.
They've been really impressive in the second half of the season, Upper Ferntree Gully, and good knockout there. That time came out towards the Jamar direction. He was wrapped up by three Upper Ferntree Gully players. He was going absolutely nowhere, and we'll have a bounce right in front of us here on the broadcast position. 8 points is the margin. It is Upper Ferntree Gully leading Mulgrave on EFL Gameday. 24.5 minutes gone. Tim Knowles just bangs it out of the ruck contest, and Luxa Fortune as well as the standing in front and taking a very strong mark was Robert Edwards, and he'll go back and have a shot on goal about 35 metres out from goal. This is an important kick, Pete.
It certainly is, but it shows the value of playing in front when you're kicking into the breeze. The ball's always going to fall short. You need to be in front as you come out as a forward because you're going to be in position A because the ball's going to drop straight into your breadbasket.
So Edwards, he'll come in now to be the first multiple goal kicker of the afternoon, and he didn't want a bar of it either because he kicked it straight through the behinds. 2 score is the result, and Mulgrave on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard moved to 4-10-33. They're trailing Upper Ferntree Gully, who are 6-4-40. We have gone 25.5 minutes.
Yeah, you got to look at what the wind's done to the ball. Surely put it out to the right. It seemed to be aimed at the left post for some reason, that kick.
Dirksen brings it back in, and Taylor takes possession. Little handball, put his teammate under pressure. Vandenbroek cleared the area, out of defence now. Long kick by Willis to half forward, and Godfrey on a long lead takes the mark. So Jason Godfrey, probably too far out to score still, you would think. There's plenty of leads on offer.
Thump it.
Have a shot.
Thump it.
Well, he doesn't. Well, I'd suggest
give it a go.
He could, but he doesn't look at all confident. Look, the eyes are darting everywhere.
If you put it on left post, just do it.
No, it just sits it up. It's not going to make the distance.
I think
and
it did.
It's been marked defensively on the last line there by Henderson. Had that kick well scouted. So a bit of a nothing kick in the end there by Godfrey. Lester for Mulgrave. Put himself under pressure then. Got it to Hesketh. So Matt Hesketh for the Lions at half-back. Just surveys the scene further afield. There's lots of traffic along this wing. Hesketh's kick, it's all Upper Gully. Look at the numbers they had then, 6-2.
Well, the second guy wasn't even near it, really. He was hoping for it to come to ground.
That was Jamar looking to shark the pack, but Kirby took the mark, shared it with Vandenbroek, off to Houston. Houston's kick looking for Eddie, who's been really quiet. We've hardly sighted him so far today. Pedals kick around the corner. Quick kick forward there was by Wellsford under pressure. And Matt Lawson had his name written all over that. Had the kick well and truly scouted, and looks for Tapscott. Tapscott's clearing kick was looking for Taylor, but G worked back nicely, shared it with West. West's kick had a bit too much on it. Tapscott read it better than his Mulgrave opponent.
He's been good.
Driving kick by Tapscott. Mark was almost should have been held there by Toole. Went to ground, got the little handball away. This is McCaig. And McCaig that time looking for the boundary line. He was held a long time in the tackle, but he's gotten away with it. So it'll be a boundary throw-in right alongside the behind post.
Mulgrave have looked better when they've shared it with
33 single goal kickers right across the board. We've had 10 of them this afternoon, so a lot of players getting right amongst it. It's a ripper game we've got. We are hoping you are enjoying. If you're out and you want to know some scores across the Eastern Football League in the 23 games,
Watts is the only major for the Demons with 2 majors. And in the other game, it seems to be shaping up as a ripper at the MCG. Hawthorn have clawed their way back against Richmond.
The sidelines in note.
All latest news and information on the Make our website www.
Few interesting games happening around the country as well this afternoon. Maybe an interesting one up in Sydney and one.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about that one, being a Melbourne supporter, but we remember the Cruiser Cup a few years ago. Well, this could be the Tom Boyd Cup. He's the number one draft pick next year, remember to me. Well, if Melbourne the case for the number one pick at the moment, it's looking the Giants. They lead by 26 points term, so potentially the first win of the year for the GWS Giants. At the MCG, the Hawks lead the shopping is a sensational clash. Corey Norris will have the highlights of that match. Jack Revolt has been good, kicking a couple. Richmond's engine room really giving the Hawks some problems. Now, also some news on the Bombers at Windy Hill. They've held an open training session earlier today. James Hird received a huge reception from the fans. They cheered, they chanted his name in a real showing of support as the SADA hands down its report into the team's controversial drugs program. Now, the EFL has that report. Essendon expected to get its hands on it as soon as today. We'll cross live to Ayrton Woolley in 9 News at 6. Also, we could be going to the polls in the
Templestowe by 22. In Division 4 today, Kilsyth, Aline Park Coaches by 22 points. Nunawading Aline South Belgrade by 6 points. Surrey Park Aline Canterbury by 4 points. And Forest Hill Aline East Alliance by 28.
Thank you very much, Will, from your work on the Pie Shed halftime show. Of course, our halftime show is brought to you by the Pie Shed, and their pies are absolutely delicious, combining fresh meats and vegetables with just the right combinations of herbs and spices. With over 40 varieties of pies, the Pie Shed has a reputation second to none. See Mark and the team at 295 Canterbury Road, Bayswater, or call 97207711. Definitely a fantastic day for a pie, but right now it's time to cross to one of our fantastic Around the Grounds reporters, and we've got Mr. Ray Baird on the line, of course, the one and only. And Ray, you're out at Warrandyte at Whitehorse this afternoon.
I'm out at a very cold and windy Springfield Park, Billy.
Very nice. And what's the story out there this afternoon, Ray? Who's on top at the moment?
Well, at the moment, the Pioneers have got a 15-point lead. But look, it's been a game that has been full of feeling. There's been a lot of niggly incidents going into this game, and probably Warrandyte has been costly. They've been a little bit undisciplined at certain times. But look, in the first quarter, it was the Pioneers kicking with a huge wind, but they only kicked 1-6 for the quarter, and that goal came at the 27-minute mark. And it wasn't just that they were inaccurate with those 6 points, it's just that the Warrandyte defence, they just wouldn't allow them to have a clear shot at goal. What they did, John O'Brien put his big ruckman, David Hand, down there as a loose man in defence, and he just marked everything. And look, as I said, they just ran the ball out against a very strong wind, and it was 1 point they only scored for the quarter, Warrandyte, but they limited the Pioneers to 1-6-12 at quarter time. Now, in the second quarter, Warrandyte, picking with that wind, had for the first 5 or 10 minutes had the ball always in their side, their forward 50, but they didn't capitalise either, and somehow the Pioneers scrambled the ball forward, and Chris McDougall kicked the goal off the ground. And then there was a little bit of altercation after that goal, and the umpire awarded a free kick from the centre bounce to the Pioneers, and they got it down. And they got another goal, and then within the 3 minutes, Chris McDougall kicked his second. So they kicked 3 goals in 3 minutes. But then look, to Warrandyte's credit, they came back and kicked the last 3 goals of the quarter. So look, at the moment, it's anybody's game. Lead to the Pioneers at the moment. I just felt that Warrandyte let themselves down with a little bit of undisciplined play at times.
Well, it sounded like Warrandyte had the wind in the second quarter, but they're still 15 points down, Ray. Do you think that they're a chance to, obviously going against the wind in the third quarter, but coming home with it? What do they need to do to get back into the game, and are they still a chance?
Well, the main thing that's costing them, Billy, as I said, is that discipline. They gave away some 30-metre penalties, some stupid rough stuff that was unnecessary. If they can just keep that in check, at times they're playing some very good football, Warrandyte. Look, it's very hard to pick a winner at the moment. You'd probably have to go for the Pioneers because they are 15 points in front.
Fantastic work from you, Ray, and I'll just get a repeated half-time score there out there.
Yeah, half-time scores, Warrandyte, 3-4-22, 15 points behind the Pioneers, 7-37.
Back at 18-point deficit at the first change. It's the Hawks, 6-8-44, leading Richmond 6-6-42. We'll head back to the team on EFL Gameday at Mulgrave Reserve. Messages.
Good news, boys. It's 20% off to travel on EastLink on weekends and public holidays. So, with the money you'll save, you'll have enough.
Enough for what, Coach?
My birthday present next week, and I have my eye on some sparkly gold footy boots with some pandas on them.
Get a breeze tag and use EastLink, the quickest way to get around Melbourne's east. Arrive fresher, play better. EastLink, it's time.
In sparkly boots.
Program sponsor.
For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Half time out here at Mulgrave Reserve, and it's Mulgrave currently trailing by 8 points. Upper Ferntree Gully 6-5-41, leading Mulgrave 4-9-33. But there's still a half a footy. Interesting proposition as well, because Donvale down currently by 55 points. So Donvale's percentage taking a bit of a hammering, and Upper Ferntree Gully in front. This gets very interesting. Before we get stuck back into the action, let's go to Riley Beveridge with some all-important stats that mattered from the first half.
Yeah, Mulgrave, they might be trailing, but they're absolutely dominating out of the middle. 19 clearances to 8 in their way. They've had the inside 50s 27 to 21. So in those categories, they're leading, but they're not on the scoreboard. They're 8 points down at half-time. Tackle count, Upper Ferntree Gully is leading that 28 to 21. Free kicks, Upper Ferntree Gully have had in favour 15 to 8. And turnovers, we mentioned that in the second quarter. Mulgrave are turning the ball over pretty much every time they go inside 50. 28 turnovers to 24 for Upper Ferntree Gully.
Great work, Riley Beveridge. All thanks to Yarra Valley Water. Be smart, choose tap. All our umpires, of course, if you're out at the ground today, wondering why they're all decked out into the beautiful lime green today, we're celebrating road safety around the EFL today and thanking Connect East and Eastlink, Gav Casey.
Well, it's interesting they're in the lime. Normally I only like to see lime when it's in my Corona.
Yes, I know you're quite enjoy that side of things. Casey, nice to have you back in the special comments chair today. Brad Henderson, your thoughts, and Gav, your thoughts from that first half. Nicely poised for a pretty even second half, Brad.
Ted, Brad. Really dark around here, and there's some dark clouds up ahead. And just as I speak here, it's starting to rain as well. So it might be a nice wet second half.
Better put the beanie on, Jeff.
Tap was won then by Kirby against Gilling, and Kirby knocks it to the boundary line for another throw-in.
The water might help with a polish on top of his scone.
He always goes in a bit undersized, Daniel Kirby, in the ruck against most opponents, but he battles on gamely. Great mark, wonderful mark, floating in from the side. And, he just kept his eyes on the footy then and safely held it. It was Matt Hesketh for Mulgrave, and terrific mark. It's looking pretty windy. If you look at the trees on that outer side of the ground, they're copping a bit of a battering. So very windy conditions. You would think it's going to make this kick very challenging for Matt Hesketh. Gets a bit of momentum up. Plenty of distance with the kick. That's a wonderful finish there from Matt Hesketh. And look at they come from everywhere to congratulate him on it. And the young man kicks his first of the day. And Mulgrave get the much needed first goal of this second half. They move on to 5-9-39. Upper Ferntree Gully 6-5-41. Bendigo Bank scoreboard. And a little surprise, Gav Casey, that you'd say you can't see a chance of Mulgrave winning when they're only 8 points down at half time.
Well, they have to be in front at three-quarter time. That's the obvious point. But being going forward has been haphazard, and that allowed Upper Gully to run against the tide when they turned it over. So if that repeats in this quarter, that's a good sign for Mulgrave winning the game. But so far, so good this quarter for Mulgrave.
Well, it certainly is. Gav, as the ball's down in there forward 50 again. It's right in that boundary line, about 40 metres out from goal. Upper Ferntree Gully plays screaming for holding the ball. The umpire doesn't want a bar of it. Have a look at the trees on the far side of the ground. They are going every which way. We know the breeze is going down that way, but it's sort of blowing across the ground and going here and everywhere. As I went out there at quarter time and half time, it's a bit weird, that one, Peter Baird.
Yeah, it's very cold out there, but nice and warm with some of the finest work supplied by Huey's Bakehouse. Contact Neil or Gail Hewitt there on 9764 2234. Some of the best pies and pastries you will find going around.
Head down Dale Street in Scoresby if you want those ones, but don't forget Mark at the Pie Shed, because he's absolutely sensational. Peter Baird is just building up every single bakery around town at the moment. He's a member of all of them as the umpire throws it up.
Them in business.
Cleveland got the knockdown. I think we'll have another stoppage about 40 metres out from goal. The umpire said play on. That was good umpiring. The ball somehow scoots up towards the top of the goal square and it goes through for a minor score. So a quick kick on goals goes rushed through by Dean Siakoulis, the vice captain, and Mulgrave. And will they get another minor score on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard? That's their 10th for the afternoon, and they're only trailing by 1 point. They are 5-10-40. Upper Ferntree Gully 6-5-41.
They need to make the most of their opportunities this quarter, Gav Case. They can't afford to be wasteful in front of goals. They need to take their time as they move the ball forward. They can't afford to have rush sets on shots on goal like what they just did in the last couple of minutes, because this is their opportunity to build that lead. They need to go into three-quarter time with a bit of a lead, you would think, if they're going to have a chance of winning this game.
Kicking for goals at one place, you're going to let the breeze.
Dangerous kicking by Vandenbroek, and it really didn't go anywhere near where it needed to. And force a boundary throw in there through Hesketh. And in fact, it's a free kick which will go to the lines. So they've got the free kick there, Matt Hesketh. And he wanted to centralise the ball, but decided against. He's going to have a shot from the boundary. Very difficult from this position. Goes with a check side kick, which drifts across the face of goal. And in the end, he's put it out of bounds on the other side, Gav.
He never put it on the outside of the boot, so it turned into a torp.
It did. Mongrel punt.
Yes.
Wasn't greatly executed, that's for sure, but difficult conditions to have shots at goal here at the moment, that's for sure, as G is penalised for holding the ball. And what's a bit of discussion going on. Free kick will go to Vandenbroek.
No, it's Tapscott.
Sorry, it is Tapscott for...
He's been great.
He's tried really hard.
And it's going to have to come back, so Tapscott will be made to kick over the man on the mark.
I know he wasn't listening to the umpire, but that's the one time where you just think, umpires, give it up, let him play on from wherever. He's in the back pocket.
With no one around.
Well,
great kick.
Driving kick by Tapscott, plenty of distance. Nice mark there by Bayer. Daniel Bayer in the big pack took the mark, bit of an up and under kick. Nicely played there for Upper Gully. The ball tumbles forward. This is Welsford. Welsford's long kick to half forward. Booth on a long lead, traps it nicely. Backpedals with the handball to G. G under pressure, kept his feet, gave it to Siakoulis. Siakoulis' kick tumbles forward, looking for Gilling. Upper Gully have the defenders back there though to defend. Vandenbroek got it to Gully. Out of defence now, Upper Gully. Close to the boundary line. Driving kick, really holds up in the breeze. Look at the wind, get a hold of that. And Butler was the beneficiary of it. Darren Butler safely takes the mark. Will drive Mulgrave forward once again. They have the wind in this quarter. They have to capitalise on that. Vandenbroek out of defence with the handball to Crocker. Dirksen overran the footy. Quick kick there by West. Tumbles it forward. Clayton there against Gilling. Good battle between those two. Clayton paddles it further afield. In front of himself, got it to Patrick Galley. Well played then by the Kings out of defence. Neat kick was effective to Taylor. Harrison Taylor, wing position for
Get the ball low as they take it forward here.
And he'll drive the Kings forward once more, BWS.
Well, the kick was an absolute shank. Pull the ball up. Ferntree Gully might have the numbers. Vandenbroek goes back in there again. Got the handball away, but it was stolen by Mulgrave, who slammed the ball inside. Bounds on the full. Booth was the direction intended. Upper Ferntree Gully will get another chance to get out of defensive 50.
He almost dug its own hole. He kicked it that badly.
He listened to me too much, I think.
The umpire.
That's a point.
It's gone through for a behind, in fact.
He kicked it on the wrong side of the stick.
Oh. Well, that would make sense then. So he's kicked it through the behinds for a behind. So a behind goes towards the Mulgrave Football Club. And once again, Upper Ferntree Gully will try and get it back
70-metre
out.
kick. That's the important part of this win now.
So again, the kick is smothered. They've got to be more careful with their possessions as the ball comes out towards the Wellsford direction. He's got to get down low and be able to scoop this one up. He goes on the second attempt there, breaks a tackle, squeezes a kick out. That was a good pass. Oh, the second by Butler. What an absolute ripper mark. He was a slips catch at best, and on the second bite he brought it down, and he'll have a shot for goal, Peter Baird, about 45 metres out, and they need this one to go through. I know scores are level, but they have been peppering early in this term.
They have been peppering. They got that wind at their back, and that looks like that wind's really picked up. I'd be really interested to hear from the Akira Urchin Camp boundary riders the effect of that wind, because it looks from inside the rooms here at Mulgrave Reserve that it's probably picked up by, and probably worth 2 or 3 goals more per quarter now.
Well, Butler's already kicked one. He wants to be the multiple goal kicker of the afternoon. It's a scrambly kick up towards the forward pocket, and over the boundary line she goes. In fact, it's been a free kick paid to the Mulgrave Football Club, and it's going to go to Adam Booth. And, well, this will be an interesting kick on goal, won't it? Certainly. It's just having a little... Well, maybe it's going to Jamar. I'm not too sure what's happening here. Both players are having a chat to the umpire. No, it is going to go to Booth, and he'll be tugged right up on the behind post here. Very difficult shot here for Adam Booth. He's kicked 1 goal this afternoon. The wind will push the ball away. It's nearly worth a left foot snap if he can get around and squeeze this one back, the big fella. So... with scores level, Adam Booth from point blank range goes for the banana kick, and he might have done okay here, but he pushed it to the right just, and a minor score once again for the Mulgrave Football Club. But they have hit the lead, though, on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard at the 7-minute mark of this third term. The Premiership quarter, 5-12-42, play 6-5-41.
When you're kicking from goal from 5 metres, Adam Booth, kick it to the goal.
I couldn't agree more.
It's a trap players always fall into. They kick the ball too hard and don't let the ball actually bend back in time. So you've got to actually kick the ball a little bit softer, let the wind and the ball action actually bring the ball back through the centre of the goals.
Well, Vanderbroek brings the ball back in as the umbrellas go cascading across the just in front of our area here. Ridiculous conditions at the moment at Mulgrave Reserve. Henderson holds the mark, and Upper Gully just cannot get the ball past their halfback area. Henderson's kick to the pocket, and it finds the boundary line in that forward pocket there for Mulgrave.
I do have to give some credit where credit due there, Brad Henderson. We're not seeing the boundary rider sitting in a car like Riley Beveridge style, though.
Drive-by boundary.
Very valiant, our boundary riders today. Back into play, the throw-in. Lawson sharked the pack nicely. Short pass is on, was effective, got it to Calder. And Alex Calder takes the mark, leans back on the kick. It's all Mulgrave. It hangs in the breeze, and Cleven takes the mark for the Lions. And again, Mulgrave will surge forward. Belts it long there, Cleven to the pocket, and it's been fisted through for a minor score. So Mulgrave, they keep doing the attacking, but they just cannot get that goal that they need. 5 goals, 13 plays Upper Ferntree Gully, 6-5-41. Bendigo Bank scoreboard as we go.
Side 50-2 in favour of Mulgrave in this quarter, so that does the wind a lot of justice right in there in itself. But also 9 turnovers already for Upper Ferntree Gully, and in just 9 minutes of play.
Well, standing outside the Upper Ferntree Gully rooms at half-time, and they definitely got a big rev up by Andy Heyman. He definitely wants this victory, but as no doubt, as does Ryan James and all of everyone at Mulgrave, as the umpire brings it back in again. But there's a lot of players around this football, and it's going to be quite difficult to get it out, and we'll have another stoppage, a ball up.
Push and shove around it.
45 metres out from goal. The umpire throws it up straight through the arms there of Bayer. Mulgrave get the clearing kick out towards the wing position. That's okay. Now the foot race is on. Who's going to be the first to meet it? Nicely done there by Cameron Clayton. He'll wind around on the right boot. That's his opposite, but it's a dangerous kick, but it's all he could do too. Booth's out there. So too out there is Willis there for Upper Ferntree Gully. Booth traps it. Handball over to Sia Coulis. He needs to find him. Ball just didn't sit up for him in there. Tapscott came in to lend some support. Booth goes after it again. Tried to barge through a tackle. Got it handball out. Tim Knowles comes in now. He probably could have copped one high there by Vandenbroek. The umpire said it was fair, and we'll have a bounce about 35 metres out from the Mulgrave goals.
The strength of Adam Booth in the contest there is really starting to come to the fore.
Knowing that if they're within 2 goals of the lead, it's a winnable scoreline. They're just setting up the wall, I reckon, and hopefully get to three-quarter time without conceding too many goals.
I think that's a fair comment. Every player in the Mulgrave half of the ground at the moment now.
From the Vanderbroek kick in, the mark taken there by Henderson. Seb Henderson tries to use that breeze to his advantage, and he's made no mistake. kicked a great goal there for Mulgrave. Seb Henderson gets his first of the day. And we heard Andy Heyman in the pre-match saying that he knew Henderson would get the job on David Eddy. So Andy Heyman and David Eddy were both ready for it. But Seb Henderson has well and truly taken the honours. He's completely shut Eddy out of the game. And now he's kicked a goal as well for Mulgrave, which puts them 9 points ahead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
Henderson, the accurate one all round there, Brad Henderson. Your call, and Seb Henderson with that right foot straight through the middle.
Well, Will Taylor's got some important half-time scores around the grounds. Let's start with Division 1, Wilbur.
Rover will lead Blackburn by 17 points. Norwood lead Eastbourne by 41 points. Notts lead Lillydale by a goal. Noah Park lead East Ringwood by 60 points. Vermont lead Scoresby by 18. And Bourne lead South Croydon by 12.
Well, something good that Upper Ferntree Gully's been able to do today. He's been able to answer, but this time it is Mulgrave's turn, and they go forward, and the mark has been taken by Booth at centre-half forward, and he will go back and have a chance to put through Mulgrave's second of the quarter, and an important goal this will be.
Well, again, that was a low trajectory pass. It was actually to the advantage of the gun forward, and that's what you need to do, with or without the wind. Get it to a position where the Booth could mark it.
And Booth goes towards goal, and he gave it a fair bit of work too, but he pushed it to the left-hand side. He's still only got the one for the afternoon. They're letting Upper Ferntree Gully off the hook, you would think, in this term. That's his fourth behind of the day too, so a little bit inaccurate by the big man, but it is tough conditions out there. Will Taylor, Division 2 scores at half-time.
Yeah, Doncaster East trailing Waverley Blues by 15 points. Montrose leading Bayswater by 43 points. Mooroolbark leading Darwinvale by 55 points. Of course, the radio game was an 8-point lead to Upper Ferntree Gully. Three-quarter time, North Ringwood leading Croydon by 23. Norwood leading Eastwell by 26 at three-quarter time, and South Croydon just hit the lead over Bourne in the third quarter.
Jamie got it out to Edwards. Edwards around the corner, and his kick lands in the arms there of Hesketh, diving to the ground. And it was fortuitous that it landed in the arms there of Matty Hesketh.
We've got time for Division 3, Will Taylor.
Doncaster leading the Basin by 31 points. Baronia leading Ringwood by 13 points. Mitcham leading Churnside by 59 points. One Turn South leading Heathmont by 41 points. Glen Waverley leading Templestowe by 22. And Whitehorse leading Warrandyte by 15.
Well, we know on past evidence that he's a good kick. He's already kicked one great goal in this third quarter, and he's very happy with the kick. They celebrate. And he has kicked his second, so Mulgrave just establishing a handy little lead here, as they need to do while they have the breeze. Mulgrave move on to 7-15-57. Upper Ferntree Gully 6-5-41. 16-point lead to the Lions on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard as Matt Hesketh gets his second goal of the day.
It's always a danger when you start going into a full defensive mode and trying to shut down the scoring of an opposition side without trying to score yourself. Sometimes you'll find the ball continually in your defensive 50, which will create scoring opportunities for the other team. That's something Upper Gully have done a little bit here. I would much rather see them go back and try and play a little bit of attacking footy, run and carry into the breeze, and try and narrow this gap down, because I reckon it's starting to get to danger sort of point now, approaching three-quarter time. They don't want to concede another one or two before that break.
Two things they need to do, because the wind is so strong now. It is almost a gale force wind, and forcing Mulgrave just to kick at goal, really, is lock down, stoppage, hit the boundary, and then when they can go forward, you've got to run it.
Well, the ball's back in the middle of the ground again. We've gone 17 and a half minutes in this third quarter here as Upper Ferntree Gully try to keep the ball working forward for them. That's okay. West got the little handball away to Young, got the handball over the top, and now they're linking up nicely. Young kick up towards the half-forward line. It's a decent enough kick, but nobody was home. Morehouse juggles it on the second attempt and takes a good mark for Upper Ferntree Gully. Division 4 at half-time, Will Taylor.
Kilsyth leading Park Orchards by 22 points. Nuttlewarden leading South Belgrave by 6 points. Surrey Park leading Canterbury by 4 points. Forest Hill leading Eastern Lions by 28. Just going back to three-quarter time in Division 1, South Croydon are now leading Bourne by 15 points.
Well, the ball goes inside forward 50 for Upper Ferntree Gully. There was a good build-up, a good tempo, Peter Baird, but they just couldn't spot up the target. It is difficult conditions, but at least it's down there, but it is out of bounds on the full.
That was much better than from Upper Gully. They run and they carried, they lowered, look for a target, just unable to finish it off with a bit of class finishing.
Well, Mulgrave go out towards the Cleveland direction, and why wouldn't you go that way? Gully at the back of the pack, a big fly there. Cheeseman's at the fall of the ball, rushed over the boundary line by Leicester, and we'll have a boundary throw-in about 20 metres out from the upper Ferntree Gully goals. They need a goal. It's down their end, so let's see if they can just manage to hold this football in and create an opportunity from something. As the umpire just about to bring the ball back in now, it'll be Taylor going up against Cleveland. That's a little bit of a mismatch over the back of the pack. The umpire will come in and bounce it. We're only 30 metres out, directly in front now from upper Ferntree Gully's goals. Quick restart once again. Cleveland got the knockdown, came out towards G, got the clearing kick out towards the west direction. He's been really clever today, in and under footballer, getting down on hands and knees. There was Clayton, got the little handball out to West. He had to break 2 tackles and find his way through traffic, and he did so. Slammed the ball on his boot up towards the half-forward line, over the top of Booth's head, looking for Jamar. He wasn't quite up to the task because upper Ferntree Gully have the numbers, and they have a clearing kick out towards the wing position. Members side, bouncing football. Who's going to be the first one to meet this? Will it stay in? The boundary line will beat all players, and we'll have a ball in. True centre wing position right in front of our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders. Gone almost 20 minutes here. Time on's just about to tick over as the umpire throws it in. Godfrey got the knockdown, went straight into the arms there that time there of Curry. Over the top there, Godfrey got the handball. Back in turn there to Calder. On the right boot, goes up towards the half-forward line. It was a neat looking kick too, and a solid mark there being taken there by Taylor. She's about 55 metres out from goal. He's presented really well this afternoon. I really like the look of this guy as he kicks it to the top of the goal square. It's a 2-on-1 situation. It was a little bit unfair. The kick falls into the arms of Crocker. He couldn't quite break the tackle. He almost did though. Handball away. Leicester's there to lend some support, and the umpire will eventually come in and bounce it as Cassiano stands over the football.
Disappointed with Taylor. He actually had Eddie, who player drifted off him, and a short. That's just more crucial that they get a set shot at goal.
Well, looks quick snap by Taylor out of the ruck. This might go the whole way. It held up on the line, and it's been knocked over the boundary line and out of bounds. I tell you what, if there wasn't any wind out here today, that probably would have carried through. So it's Henderson who's knocked it over the boundary and out of.
And they need someone to help Booth. If they need targets, is what Mulgrave need going forward.
Knocked further afield now. Upper Gully. Strong tackle applied there by Cassiano.
Great tackle.
And the umpire again on the scene. I agree, Clayton's done a great job on Gilling. He's just got to be tidier when he has the footy. Going the other way, coming out of defence, Cameron Clayton has certainly been pretty indiscriminate with a lot of his kicks, and it's just cost his team on a few occasions.
Luckily, the conditions favour being indiscriminate sometimes. It's so...
The conceding a needless free kick. Cleveland paddled it down again. He tried to go to G. Those two really do team together really. And you can tell that Adam G loves being at Alan Cleveland's feet, sharking the pack.
Riley Beveridge, thanks to Choose Tab.
Yeah, incredibly 19 inside 50s to 6 in this quarter, and that makes it 45-27 for the match.
Yeah, incredible, but certainly understandable as Houston has a bounce. Out of defence, looks for McGowan, who had front position against Leicester. Leicester worked pretty hard and did well to force another boundary throw in.
The problem with it, going into three-quarter time now, Andy Heyman has to change the mindset of his team completely from playing that shutdown stoppage type of football into playing some attacking brand of footy in the final quarter.
When the kick goes 80 metres, I reckon they'll adjust.
Yeah, but Ryan James got the opposite problem here because his team, they're going all out attack at the moment. They need to be able to switch it up. I think it's a lot easier to go to transition into playing a defensive game than it is to transition into playing attacking footy.
So the boundary umpire had to take 2 once again. And the ball belted forward now. Clayton, there he is once again. In the right place at the right time. What does he do with this kick? He kicks it to a contest down the line. Probably not a bad result. Found Lawson on the wing. Lawson safely holds the mark. Goes very short. Careful kick, but it was effective. Got it to Houston.
It did prove to be that in the second quarter, didn't it, Peter, that it is easier for Upper Ferntree Gully to defend and play on the counter than it is to dictate terms.
Yeah, I don't think their game style really suits that. They're probably used to having a lot of teams scoring heavily against them and trying to hit them on the rebound than going into full offensive style of footy, which is what they need to do to win this game of footy in the final term.
Henderson got it to Butler. Butler tumbles the kick forward to Trevethan. That was well played. G's got great hands, and he got it to Siakoulis. Siakoulis' kick looking for Booth. Again, it slips through his fingertips, and he goes to the ground. Jamar there tried to rove the pack. Booth crashes his way through. Does he give a free kick away? Almost shoves the upper gully player out of the way to allow his teammate Robbie Edwards to swoop on the footy and kick the goal. And Edwards has kicked his second of the day as the rain really starts to fall very heavily. Mulgrave have established what could be a match-winning lead on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard, Gav Casey.
What's the lead you'd be comfortable with or expect that they could hold on to?
Well, it's at least 4 goals, and it's sort of about that now. But let's cross boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care.
Yes, boys, as we've seen, the lights are on at Mulgrave Reserve, but the rain has set in and it looks to be coming in sideways. So it's very comfortable down here for Jeff and I, but we're showing Riley Beveridge how it's done.
Doing a great job of our Akira Urgent Care boundary riders as they always do. Ball back in the middle of the ground. It was up at Ferntree Gully. Got that knocked down there, Riley. But Mulgrave have got the clearance inside forward 50 once again. Off the little boot there of Booth. Got it back into the middle of the square. Upper might have the numbers out wide here. Bayer was waiting for it. He probably should have gone. As at centre half forward, we are going to have a bounce.
It's interesting, Gav, you said 4 goals, but you've got to remember that Mulgrave are down to 3 on the bench. Luke Parker still hasn't come back on.
No, Brad said 4 goals. I was trying to say maybe it could be 5 goals. But yeah, Mulgrave might not have a big enough lead for how strong the wind has now become.
Out to see Koulis, who kicked it to the top of the goal square. They need to bounce right here at the back of the pack. West, he's going after it and he pushes it through for 1 behind. So another score to Mulgrave. They've really owned this quarter, the premiership quarter, Peter Baird. They're dominating the score. It's 24 scoring shots to 11 at the moment. It should be a bigger margin.
It should. Mulgrave, they've really peppered this quarter. Just haven't got reward for effort. They should be 5 or 6, probably 6, 7 goals up in front of this stage of the game. They're giving Upper Gully a sniff. Are Upper Gully good enough to take advantage of it in the final term? That's going to be the big question.
Andy Heyman said before the game, these boys don't want to be relegated. So give them a chance. They'll have the wind at their back.
Well, Kirby took the mark from the kick in. Number 58's come on for Mulgrave. Just asked for the boys to find out who that number is. There might be a jumper change here as up at Ferntree Gully. Through the hands there. Comes across to centre half forward. Over the top there of that man there in Gilling who bangs it on his boot towards the top.
Akira Urgent Care will have you off the sidelines in no time. Station sponsor.
For all things EFL.
Good evening, Eastern Football League lovers. One of the punishments is you've got to get a spray tan the Friday night before a game.
Oh, nice.
Wash all the jumpers. And of course, he is Glenn Archer, and welcome to the program tonight. G'day, Glenn.
G'day, guys. How you going?
Winning the league, BNF, our BNF.
How much longer we've got to see Stewie Wine going around in the Eastern Football League?
Probably about 1 quarter.
Every Wednesday on 98.1 Radio Eastern.
Damien Watson with you on Radio Eastern 98.1. Currently 11.4 degrees outside of the outer eastern suburbs of Melbourne. Hope you're enjoying your Saturday afternoon amidst the gale force winds that seem to be beckoning us here in Melbourne. Let's go around the grounds in the AFL. 2 matches currently transpiring this afternoon, and GWS, it's almost official now. They've registered their first victory of the AFL season against Melbourne this afternoon. We're currently at the 22-minute mark of the final term, and the GWS Giants hold an unassailable 37-point lead over Melbourne as their dreadful season continues. The Giants 18-9-117 leading the Demons 11-14-80 late in that game. Major goal scorers thus far for the Giants. Jeremy Cameron once again continuing on his good recent form. He's got 4 to this stage of the game. Smith and Ward have each registered 3 majors. Meanwhile,
in sparkly boots,
program sponsor. For the best EFL rap on radio, don't miss Akira EFL Sunday from 10 till 12 every Sunday morning on 98.1 Radio Eastern. Ben Warren Smith and the team bring you all the final scores, goal kickers, best players and ladders following a big round of EFL footy. The gang also talk to winning coaches, players and special guests to bring you the final scores from all seniors, reserves and under-19s matches.
Boundary
Akira
boys.
EFL Sunday, going live and local for your footy from 10 every Sunday on 98.1 Radio Eastern. For all the latest news and information on the Eastern Football League, make sure you check out our website, www.efl.org.au.
We'll go straight to you, Jeff.
EFL Saturday Game Day continues. Let's head back and go local for your footy.
Upper Ferntree Gully trail at the moment, but let's head down the boundary side thanks to Akira Urgent Care. Jeff Manolitza.
Yeah, thanks, boys. I've got Ryan James here with me, and a much better quarter there using the wind in the third quarter.
Yeah, a lot better quarter. I think We lifted our contested ball and used the ball a hell of a lot better than what we had.
And the key for this last quarter?
Just composure with the ball. At times they'll have a fair bit of it, but once we get it, we've just got to use it smartly.
Well, thank you very much for your time. Good luck in the last quarter.
Thanks, mate.
Good on your work. Great work there from Jeff Manolitza. The final quarter's underway. Here's Brad Henderson.
Thank you, Ben Waterworth. The last quarter does start in very heavy rain, and the lights are on here at Mulgrave Reserve. Really dark conditions. It's going to be tough for Upper Ferntree Gully to peg back this deficit, but at the same time, they do have a very strong breeze in this last quarter. Can they make better use of it than Mulgrave did in that third term, where they were one of those sort of nearly days? He's looked dangerous a few times, but nothing's quite come off for him. Strong kick by Gilling, but Dirksen worked back well to take the mark. In the driving rain, Dirksen goes short. Careful kick. The Kings try to come out of defence. Lawson hung in the air a long time and finally just sailed over the head of Lawson and over the boundary line.
Just while that ball trickled out, Donvale are trailing by 76 points at three-quarter time, so win, lose or draw, Upper Ferntree Gully are off the bottom of the ladder and Donvale are on it.
Make no mistake,
so far.
They will want to win this game though, and that's a good result for them. But Cleveland, big high up and under kick. Reaches the centre half forward area. Welsford takes possession. He's stripped of the footy. A lot of players come in and force the ball up.
So, Brad,
again.
just some context of the position of the ground. Mulgrave is still 2 kicks away from scoring, but one bad turnover and they'll cop it on the scoreboard. That's where Upper Gully just have to be smart about going forward, because there will be opportunities. It's just nature of the wind. They will go forward.
And that's why not going sideways before was the wrongest stop towards the G direction, and he takes the mark for Mulgrave.
Did we get on that on tape that I tipped it?
Well, they haven't won yet either, so we'll also have that on tape, mate. So as the kick goes inboard to Darren Butler, they'll slow things down at every opportunity in this final term, Mulgrave. They used the win nicely in that third term with an unbelievable amount of inside forward 50s. Now the rain has come and the wind has dropped, so it's going to make things ever so more difficult for the Upper Ferntree Gully side, although they do kick with that breeze in this final term. But the ball's a lot more slipperier now. The umpire's plucked out a free kick. It's going to go the way of the Mulgrave Football Club. They've got players screaming across the ground for it, or even back if they want to do so. So they double back a little bit here, the Lions. So
they've gone 5 minutes without conceding a score, so that's a big win for Mulgrave.
Yeah, they're doing the job already. So backwards to go forwards. Booth takes the mark, puts it down the line now. That was okay. Little handball out, came out towards the Butler direction. He had to break a tackle. He probably just needs to get boot to ball. Got a little handball over the way. That was okay. The scrambler kick up forward has been marked by Upper Ferntree Gully across the half back line. So just under that far side light tower, it's as black as a dog's guts as you head out here to Mulgrave Reserve out here today. Booth takes the mark. He's filling the hole nicely across that centre half forward area now. Gets it out towards the west direction. Has to take it on the bounce. He's been very...
Gilling's kick was well smothered by Clayton. Sliding in was Hesketh. Free kick, and it was against Tapscott.
No, Tapscott was silly then.
Well, he's going to go back and line up from about 25 metres out.
It was clear that he was going to be second to the contest. Whether it was a slide-in motion by Hesketh or not, he was there first, so you just can't come in indiscriminately and over the top.
Professional free kick.
No, you can't, and that's the way the umpire saw it. He's paid the free. And Matt Hesketh, 2 goals today. He is a lovely kick of the footy. What's he done this time? No, he's well and truly off target. And minus score, so just keeps Upper Ferntree Gully in the game slightly. The door is just slightly ajar at the moment. Mulgrave 9 goals, 17. And Upper Gully 6-5-41. 26 scoring shots today to 11, but still the Kings remain a chance on the Bendigo Bank scoreboard.
It's going to be very tough for them, though, in these conditions to virtually double their score to get back in this game and get in front. I honestly cannot see it happening as Vandenbroek kicks the ball into the middle of the ground. This is looking a little bit more promising as Dirksen got the little hand.
He has G wrapped up. He's going nowhere. Great game today by Adam G.
Fantastic game.
James high kick looking for Hess, fisted it down into the path of Houston. Lawson now for Upper Ferntree. Wally veteran Matt Lawson drives it forward. This is promising by McGowan. McGowan's kick, looking for big Jason Godfrey. Hunts after the footy. Can he gather it in? Yes, he does, but he's surrounded by 3 or 4 line players. Well then, forced the error. Well played by Young. Throws it on the boot. Matt.
Now, very important kick in the context of this game. Daniel Bayer. He needs to start and work it back with the breeze. Watch the ball travel that way all afternoon. He comes in now. He starts it out right and he puts it straight into the car park. So the opposite to what I suggested wasn't done, and out of bounds on the full. Mulgrave will reload. Peter Bear's got some interesting scores.
Yeah, full time. North Ringwood 13-8-86 have defeated Croydon 11-8-74. Blues have given up any hope they've had at the double check.
Get the ball out of that danger zone. Rush towards the boundary line and out of bounds. 45 metres out from the upper Ferntree Gully goal lines. We've gone 13 and a half minutes here in this final term, and Riley Beveridge has got some important choose tap stats.
Yeah, Mulgrave once again dominating the clearances 6-3 in this quarter, 35-17 for the game. So that's probably pretty much been the difference, plus 18.
It's a perfect into the win game, hasn't it?
Yeah.
They've set up nicely.
They've locked it down when they've needed to.
Yep.
So back into play, boundary throwing. Cleverly palmed out then to Welsford. High up and under kick. Mark should have been held by Vandenbroek, couldn't take it. Bayer gave it to Lawson, back to Clayton. Strong tackle then by Leicester. Another strong tackle this.
Score, the big loser of that result is the Royal Football Club, who really needed to make up that game on South Croydon.
Welsford's kick to the wing position. Massive, even big high up and under kick. And Trevethan tried to take the diving mark, couldn't quite do so.
And the Dogs become the late season giant slayers of Division 1. They seem to pull out a victory.
How they can lose to East Ringwood and back up against Baldwin is beyond me, but good on you, doggies.
Not just yet, BWS.
There's a quick kick along the boundary by Curry. It's all the Lions though. They just seem to have this game in their keeping at the moment. Siakoulis was interfered with, didn't get a free kick. Cassiano,
as we'll dub him, drives the ball out every bit of 60 metres. It was a decent looking kick too, 2-on-1 situation. The mark has been taken out there. I'm not too sure. I thought it looks like Tap Scott, but I see the receding hairline. Teammate in Kirby who I bagged as well before. Be an absolute cracker now that they've got the 4 points, that's for sure.
They always give me some of their hot dogs when I go in after the game, so they're very generous club down the east.
free kick goes to Lawson now for the Kings. He's played a fine game. The veteran got it to Bayer. Handball to Crocker, but he's under pressure, and plenty of pressure applied there by the Lions, BWS.
Doncaster have defeated the Basin by a lazy 10 goals out there at Shram's Reserve today, and Rowville have they to be seen. Thanks to Akira Urgent Care, we have absolutely no idea where our boundary riders are today, so let's hope that they're getting out there. You can hear Jeff Mandalitza giggling in the background. But
we're just doing some critical background work down here, boys, so we'll be back out there in no time. Don't you worry about that.
No, even in the rain, Billy Vickers is still the excitable one as the ball's back in the middle of the ground. And it'll be Cleveland. He got the knockout that time. Upper Ferntree Gully will try and get another pathway towards goal. Trying to break a tackle there was Tap Scott. Got the handball away. In came Vandenbroek. Went backwards to go forwards. But Upper Ferntree Gully might create a little bit of a switch here and bring it out towards the member's side. Clayton doubled back. He got gang tackled by Siakoulis in a one-man tackle, and he'll have a shot on goal about 40 metres out. He's got players all in the goal square if he wants to use him. J-Mars by himself as well. But Dean Siakoulis, the vice captain of the Mulgrave Football Club, he wants to get amongst the goals. He's 40 metres out. He slams it on his boot, and he slams it home. Fantastic goal by the Mulgrave Football Club. Now they're the team that are answering the goals by the opposition, and they are certainly running away with this game. Fantastic effort by the Lions today, and Dean Siakoulis, the vice captain, he certainly wanted to get amongst that one, Peter Baird.
Certainly did. You talk about seizing the opportunity. A big team that seized the opportunity today, the White Horse Pioneers. Final score coming in aplenty. Mitcham boosting their percentage, defeating Churnside Park by 122 points this afternoon.
Oh, wow. Got any more while you're there, Pete?
Just got that past that one by Ben Waterworth.
Just a quick shout out to Mitch Ward after that as well.
You did say plenty. You should have just said one as Tap Scott has the ball on his drives it up the wing position, who's going to be the first one to meet that at the fall. The ball pedal has been relatively quiet today, went straight through his arms. Mulgrave though will kick it up towards the Cleveland direction. He had one bite at the fall. The ball
Teams left in the season. What do you hope for the rest of the year?
I just yield improvement. We've got a lot of young boys and just putting them in more circumstances where they can learn for next year.
And tough conditions for you here today with the rain coming down for most of the second half?
Yeah, not as tough as what it was for you though.
Well, we'll let you get into the room to celebrate with the boys, but congratulations again. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, mate.
Great stuff to Jeff Manalitza with the Victorious coach Ryan James. It's very rare you see players and fans get off the ground as quickly as this, because they are racing into the rooms, because it is teeming down here at Mulgrave Reserve. Final scores between Kilsyth and Park Orchards this afternoon. 6 weeks is keeping the eye on the red and